What's up?
Good.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racers News Network Live. How are you all doing? Those of you that are driving to Virginia, be safe, be careful. You may get rain, you may not. You'll find out when you get there, I guess, is the only real answer we can give you right now. But we are going to be talking with our guests in just a few minutes from the man from the just a wee bit north of us. Of course, I'm talking about Glenn Groh from the John Scotti National Open Series up in Canada. And we're going to learn about what is going on with the National Open Series and how it has become I guess really the only way to put it is a remarkable success in the last year or so. So I'm looking forward to learning some more about that. But of course, I have to introduce the man, Mr. Pete Sanka. What's happening, my friend?
Same old, Chris. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. Counting the days to go to my appointment. So,
Excellent. When is that?
excellent. That is Friday.
Friday, right?
To Boston at Dana Farber and find out.
The highlight is going to be getting pizza.
The highlight is going to be getting brick oven pizza.
Brick oven pizza.
All right, yeah, because like I said when I posted that yesterday, how many people have ever had an appointment like this at a hospital like Dana Farber and said, "Can't wait to go because I'm dying to eat there." Well, if you haven't, I will make up for you because I'm that guy.
Nice.
I'm a very special boy.
Nice. And now that you're not going through treatment, you might actually have an appetite and be able to put some down, right?
Yeah, let's hope.
Good stuff.
I'll be too nervous about seeing the doctor that I probably won't eat. But
yeah,
I will force my way through somehow.
There you go.
So
good.
So how's your hot rod treating you?
So I think we're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I fixed my fuel pressure drop problem, which was something that has been a huge pain in the ass since I fired it up with EFI. We'll see. I don't know, every time I think I'm going to go to the track and it's going to run perfect, it doesn't. So I'm not going to say anything. We're going to go forward and it's going to be fine.
You're going to walk up to it, kick it in the tire and say, "You POS, I hate you."
Oh my God. I've said things to her that no guy should ever say to his friend.
Good. Well, that's good. Glad to hear it. Now you said you're gonna, if everything goes well, you're gonna be at Dover this weekend.
Correct. We're gonna head up Friday afternoon. Spend the weekend up there. And I honestly, Chris, I don't even know what's on the schedule, when we're racing, I have no idea. I just want to go race my car. So I'll get in where I fit in. Yeah, I'll just get in where I fit in, whatever.
Now you're gonna run it all out, right? You're not gonna.
Yes. Yep. I gotta make it run pretty much perfect without the throttle stop, so that when I put it on the throttle stop, I know most of those variables are gone. So
very cool. All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, Mr. Groh.
So when you told me that he was going to be on the show, I was kind of excited because I don't know that I've seen him, with the exception of a couple of weeks ago. I had the fortune of bumping into him up at Lebanon Valley. And Glenn, I'm talking about you like you're not sitting right there, but you get the idea. I haven't really, since you managed Lebanon Valley. I don't know that I've seen you 2 or 3 times since then. And I was always a fan of yours. I was always happy with the way you ran the track. So I'm going to take this interview way back to what happened with Glenn after he left Lebanon Valley. I want to know what my buddy did.
Wow. Well, gee whiz. I came back home.
Yep.
To Montreal and got back into my contracting business, which led me to my sister's business. She has a sanctuary for chimpanzees that were involved in research. I worked there for many years. And then I was still racing. I was with John Fink. I was tooling around. I did that for 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
And then I kind of got out of it for a little while, and things in life changed anyway. And then one day I got a call from Dave Moan, and he says, "Hey, we're doing a race at Naperville. You wanna come hang out?" And that's it. The rest was history. Here we are.
Awesome.
That was in, boy, oh boy, 2014 or 2015, and we've built the series a little bit, and
Yep.
we're having a lot of fun with it. Having a whole lot.
So
Of fun.
so what are you actually? Are you in charge of the Open Series?
Yes, I'm the Canadian representative for the NHRA.
So you're the Dave Moan of Canada.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah,
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say Dave Moan. What Dave Moan used to be.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I work very closely with Mark Dawson, the new division director, and together we make this happen.
Now, Mark Dawson is our new division director, correct?
Yes, a very good guy.
Yeah.
Very
So
good.
I've heard. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him myself yet. Hopefully, I will soon. But what could you tell us about him?
Well, he comes from a racing background. I mean, he was at Maple Grove for many, many years. That's where he cut his teeth, and left Maple Grove and went on to the national event tour, where he worked on the starting line. He was Rick Stewart's understudy.
Okay.
So he was there a year or two as Rick's understudy, traveling the entire country, doing national events. So he's really got some,
Yeah.
in the trenches experience. And
Not
then
like
from there-
monster trucks or the circus or anything like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. He,
I had to do it.
I know. Mark went on to manage several racetracks, Vegas, Famoso, Sonoma.
Yep.
And as a track manager, I can tell you, you get to learn a whole lot.
I'm sure.
And he came directly from Sonoma, I believe it was. So, I mean, he's got 30 odd years of real racing experience. So
Awesome.
it's a bonus for Division One. It's actually a bonus for all of racing.
Yep.
His wisdom in the meetings is it's evident.
Awesome. That's good. Because I got to tell you, as I don't have to tell you this, but obviously filling Dave Moan's shoes is not an easy task.
Nope, not at all.
So it's I've heard a lot of really good stuff about this guy. So yeah, it's exciting that we're not dreading who's running Division One. We're looking forward to it. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's I keep telling racers in the States that you don't need to buy a lottery ticket because you hit the jackpot with this guy.
Awesome. That's good stuff. So now, you being on the Open Tour, you said you're the Canadian representative.
Yep.
But when the Open Series, and forgive my ignorance on this, but how often do they come to the States? Is it only once or twice a year now?
Well, the Opens last year, it was just one at New Media and the Dutch.
The Dutch, right?
And
yeah.
It's a completely separate series from ours.
Oh, okay.
You still.
So how often do you come to the States?
I came down for a couple of races. I was down for Lebanon. Where else did I go to? I was at Maple Grove for the first race. Yep. I've been to a couple this year. Last year I was at a bunch as well. Like I said,
do you work when you come down here, or are you just here to spectate and
spectate, observe? I mean, I help out where I can, kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So how are you liking you? So now you've been doing this for over 10 years now, right? Or coming up on 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years with the Opens. I mean, it started out, it was just 2 or 3 races, and now we're up to, we got 6 weekends. That's 12 races plus the bracket finals. So it's as busy as a division kind of thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you say 6 weekends, 12 races. I'm no mathematician, but that means every weekend that you guys race, you have a double?
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool.
It just makes sense for the Opens.
Right.
Being the size they are, that to get 2 races in. Guys can get 2 grade points. Those of them looking for it.
Yep.
And it makes it. It gives us 12 races to have a series. So
Right.
we have a decent championship series going.
Now, does the grade points that you earn for an open in Canada, do they count towards entering a national event in the States?
Yes, they do.
Very cool.
So
how nice is that they could go racing 2 or 3 weekends and have a grade 4 or grade 6?
Yep.
There's a lot of people in the States here that wish they could do that.
Yep. And I mean, and not have to travel, thousands of miles.
Right.
I mean, yes, we are farther apart than most tracks in Division 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, the guys can earn their points at home, the bulk of. We actually this year got a whole bunch of guys from the All-Star circuit that run stock, super stock at Lebanon Valley and Epping.
Yep.
We had a couple of dozen guys come up for the Naperville race because it's really close. I mean, we are 3.5 hours from Lebanon Valley.
Yep.
And probably 4 from New England, 4 or 5 from New England. So
it's not terrible. I sold a dragster once, and I met the guy at Naperville.
Yeah.
To drop the car off to him. So yeah, I mean, I did that trip in one day.
Yeah.
Dropped it off and came back. So it's not terrible.
Yeah.
And like you said, you head up on a Friday afternoon to get 2 grade points, and you make a weekend out of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've gone to Acco or Maple Grove, and a ride that's supposed to only take 3.5 or 4 takes 5.5 or 6. So it's not like we haven't done it before,
Well, that's it. Especially when you're heading down to the Acco or Englishtown, you're heading into the city on a Friday.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. I always say anytime I could head out of my driveway and go north instead of south for racing, it makes life a lot easier.
Well, I had that conversation with a couple of guys from Jack Webster, one of them from New England.
Yep.
He said it's a great drive up, very relaxing. He gets to the track and he finds himself more at ease than trying to go anywhere else.
Sure.
And you're not fighting big stupid hills and
hills and traffic and people and
yeah,
it's not easy. What kind of car count do you guys get when you have an event?
Well, we're running around 120 now.
That's not bad.
Which is pretty good. I mean, we had a hard time breaking 80 a couple of years ago.
Really?
But this past year, we're up 20% across the board.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Naperville, huge success. Out east, huge success. Toronto is getting there. I mean, we had our best stock, super stock count ever at Toronto on Labor Day weekend. We had 63 cars, and we knew of 5 guys that were at Indy. So,
no kidding.
We're pushing it there. The .90 stuff was a little lighter than we would like at Toronto, but we're working on that. I got some ideas, and we'll get up there. My hopes for this year, making it a full blown series. Stock, super stock, we're pretty stable right across the board. We're between 50 and 60 cars at all the tracks.
Yep.
The .90 stuff, I was going to be happy with 8 cars in each class, and we succeeded with that, except for Toronto. I mean, we had close to 20 Super Street cars at a couple of races. So, Super Street being the entry level, it's good. I mean, we wrote more new licenses this year than we have in many, many, many years.
Okay.
We're seeing a lot of new cars, and it doesn't really happen so much in the South. I mean, numbers are dropping off down there, and we're seeing growth, which is nice.
And all the classes are pretty much the same.
Exactly the same. We
run comp and all that stuff, or no?
We don't run comp. There's not enough comp cars anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
tough class.
it's a shame. I in my heart of hearts, I love comp.
Right.
It defines drag racing.
Yep.
A 4-cylinder Opel
Right.
taking on an A dragster or a double A turbo car.
Yep.
It's cool.
Right.
It's hard to explain to the average spectator.
Chris loves explaining comp, don't you, Chris? That's exactly what he does. Whenever I ask him a comp question, he just starts rubbing his head.
I love comp. Again, that's one of my favorite classes. You know, like you said, similar. You know, you can have a double A pro mod, you know, with freaking blower and everything, you know, monster tires going up against, you
Four-cylinder
know,
dragster.
yeah,
Yep.
Rich and his little half pro stock engine,
Right.
you know, 13-inch tire dragster. Love it.
Yep.
It's great.
Yep.
But again, that index thing makes me want to just like take this right here and just start banging on my head. This makes more sense to me.
Well,
So you got the .90s, and you got stock and super stock.
yeah, the stock super stock is a combo for
Okay.
now. For
Yep.
now, when I start kicking over into the 60s and 70s, it might be time to split them up.
Right.
We run a top dragster, top sportsman combo,
Oh, nice.
and that's really catching on. I mean, people are coming from all over. I actually hear a lot from the guys down at New England.
Yep.
Because they run an 8th mile circuit there too, and they're interested because
Right.
we're running our top dragster, top sportsman 8th mile. We have bikes too. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, bracket bikes. It's catching on. I mean, you see these guys at every track. They need a place to race. You know,
Right.
the Pro Star is gone, or I guess it's still kind of there, but
Yep.
these guys need a place.
Right.
And now we have an opportunity for them to come. We had a few little growing pains this year with it, but towards the end of the year, we're really getting a lot of interest. And we
Good.
also do a junior dragster.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, because I mean, half these guys, the juniors, are there with their parents who race big cars anyway.
Sure.
So we're watching them at every open, and they're racing, and they're not really a part of the big show kind of thing.
Right.
Because the opens are at smaller tracks.
Yep.
So this is, when we go to Miramichi, New Brunswick, this is their Lucas race. It's their big show. So it's
Sure.
fun for the kids to be a part of it. I mean, we had, I think at the 6 races, we had, hang on, I'm looking here, something like 52 different juniors participated in our points.
Wow.
Which is good. I mean,
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's and
there's
they had
probably there's probably some .90 cars that you don't have 52 different participants totaled up with all the tracks.
Exactly.
That's impressive. Very cool.
Yeah, and we've been working hard at getting some sponsorship, and to sweeten the pot for the guys, and it's working out. I mean, they're not exactly lining up, but they're there and they're willing to help. We got some great sponsors on board.
Good stuff. So what's on deck for next year?
Same as this year. Actually, it was the recipe was a success.
Yep.
We might change some dates around here and there. We tried a few new things this year as far as placement of races. I think we're going to go back to where we were. The one little experiment didn't really work out. So we're going to, I try and put all our races close to another race, like the weekend before or weekend after.
Yep.
So people can back to back them, because that seems to be what the trend is now for racing.
Sure. Yep.
I like to be a week away from Lebanon.
Yep.
When we're in Toronto, I try and be a week away from something happening at Empire, or even going down to Norwalk, because we get a lot of Division 3 guys that come up to the Toronto.
Okay.
So it's I try and do that. And to make it for our racers, we did as many back to back, Toronto, Montreal's, so the guys here can do the same kind of thing.
Right.
Make
Excellent.
one voyage kind of thing, and
Yep.
either make a holiday of it or drive back with just the truck kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah, right. So you're not pulling all over the place.
Well, that's it. I mean, from pickup trucks to motorhomes, we're talking, what, $50 to $100 an hour in fuel.
No.
So an 8-hour voyage, depending on what you're driving, holy mackerel. $1,600 return, and that's if you've got a reasonably efficient machine.
Right.
Some of these bigger, older things are, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how guys do it.
I know. I always get caught up in just like driving around the pits and looking at the vehicles that are there, and it's like, holy Christ.
Yeah.
Between how much it's changed in the last 10 or 15 years and the amount of money that not only is just sitting there, but just what it takes to get there.
Yep.
With both race car and tow vehicle and trailer. And yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. That's for sure.
That's it. I mean, go back to when I was at the Valley, man, there was a whole lot of cars on open trailers.
Right.
You really don't see that anymore. It was
including mine. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the really wealthy guy with an enclosed trailer and a motorhome. And now it's the norm. And
it's definitely the norm.
It's just making sense. You're not paying hotel nights.
Sure.
But people are spending some money, boy.
Yeah, that is for sure. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So you gotta do you have any plans for, like, do you think you'll be at Lebanon Valley next year for the divisional, or
I'm sure I'll stop down. I mean, it's too much fun and it's too close,
Good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Now, one.
So I got one more that I could think of, and then I'll probably forget. So, I have an NHRA competition number.
Yep.
I have an NHRA license.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come to Naperville to run Super Street.
Yep.
What do I need?
You're best with a passport.
Okay.
If you have a real ID or something like that, if you're in one of the neighboring states and you've got the enhanced driver's license,
yep,
that and a birth certificate,
okay,
you should be just fine.
Excellent. What about for competing?
It's the same. It's the same
thing.
We are NHRA. Your license.
It's all the same. So if it's good here, it's good there.
Absolutely.
And the same goes for chassis certification and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. And we can do all that for the ones that do not have it. We can do it right there on site. We have 2 chassis guys, and we do the licensing right there on site, usually on the day before. There's a test day before the race.
Okay.
And we write a lot of licenses there.
So between the test day before you race and the event and all the credentials and everything, it's basically like going to a national open in the States. It's no different.
Exactly the same. Exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Go ahead, Chris. I'll stop talking now.
All right. Well, Glenn, you beat me to my border question.
Okay.
So that's all right. Now,
Chris had one question. You already said it.
The border.
Be quiet. Has there been any talk of trying to expand the national open stuff on our side of the border?
Mark is talking to a couple of tracks to see what we can do to get a few more opens down there.
Cool. Yeah, because I know Lebanon Valley had one, Pete, 2-3 years ago now?
Yeah. Yeah, it was at least
in like early May.
Yep.
And all right. Good.
Yeah, I was and again, I know I don't keep on this stuff like I should, but I was surprised when they did away with the National Open Championship in the States here.
Yeah, it wasn't as successful as we thought it might be.
Yep.
I mean, we're enjoying some success up here with ours. So, but you guys from the States are more than welcome to come on up and compete in ours.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's the Naperville thing. What were the dates on it roughly this year?
It'll be probably this past year.
Yeah.
This past year, it was a week or two after Lebanon,
Okay.
and then it was the week after Labor Day.
Gotcha.
So for next year, I'm going to try and be the week after Lebanon
Okay.
and mid-September again.
Yeah. So the the one that's the week after Lebanon, I could probably go to. I
Yeah.
got to do it when I'm not in school.
Right.
But yeah, that would be something that I'd be interested in doing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, as I started before, the border in the past was a problem. It was a little hard to get in and out with race cars and such, but
Yep.
they've calmed down a whole bunch. There's
Nice.
actually people are having more trouble with U.S. customs.
No kidding.
Yeah, there's you get people with their own agenda. Like
Yep.
there's a particular border crossing in Michigan that they're wanting all sorts of EPA stuff.
Really?
That. Yeah, I mean, saying that the car conforms and all this. I mean, it's not like we're bringing cars in there that aren't already racing down tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So the guy is reading the rules and he's applying them all.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, it's like the cop that pulls you over and gets you for 15 different things when
Yeah.
it's one tiny little infraction.
Yeah. Yep.
But for the most
Yeah.
part now, I haven't heard. Wow, I guess the first Naperville we had probably 15 guys came across. The second Naperville it was 25, I guess.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard a single word of anybody having any trouble coming across, either coming
Nice.
or going. I mean, ultimately, you're dealing with someone who has a fair amount of power. It's like getting pulled over by the state police. You just don't
Right.
be a jerk, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You know, be polite, answer his questions.
Yeah. If he wants to see inside the trailer, don't roll your eyes. Just
That's it.
let him look inside the trailer. Yeah. Right.
I mean, leave your guns at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's big.
That might help.
And you leave your pot at home too. Actually,
Yeah. I was going to say leave your drugs at home too, but
That's
you got
it. Yeah, unless you have
You
a
gotta take that C-Wiz off the roof of the RV, I guess.
Yeah, right. My son is watching and he hears me talking about racing in Canada and he just sent me a text that said I want to race in Canada so bad. So that might be a field trip for next year.
Come on up.
Yeah.
Come on up. We had a good gang of Super Street, Super Gas guys came up.
So did you say it's just the bikes that do bracket racing? You don't have bracket racing for cars, right?
Well, there is a bracket race at every open. It's nothing that we are a part of. It's what the track runs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Because he's got like a 1150-ish car.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah.
he could just come up and bracket race.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, I already have a passport, so I'm ready.
Good. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I can dig it.
Very cool.
And you're still going 1090?
Yeah, well, I'm trying. I haven't had much success doing it the last couple of weeks, but yeah,
Okay.
That's the game plan.
Good.
Yeah, I switched over to EFI this year, and I got started a lot later than I wanted to, which is pretty typical of every year, actually. But we're figuring stuff out. But yeah, Super Street is what I like to run. So
Good.
Yeah, we'll figure it out sooner or later.
I'm sure you
Well,
will.
cool. If we have our way, we'll be able to get a whole caravan of race cars going up 89 to head up there then.
Well, I
Yeah.
know the Bells always go, right? They go like every year.
Yep. The bells have been coming up. The the stock, super stock guys are coming up in droves as well.
Yep. So it shouldn't be too hard to latch onto a caravan going up there and
Oh, no problem.
follow on up.
Yeah.
We'll go to Lebanon Valley. We'll race on Wednesday night. And then we'll leave Thursday morning and head up to Canada.
There you go.
It's perfect.
And we usually start testing on Thursday at noon. So
there you go. It's how far? What did you say? 3.5 from Lebanon Valley?
3.5 in a regular car, probably 4.5 towing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an easy
like
tow. Couple of hills, but nothing crazy.
Nothing to write home about. Yeah, I don't remember it being anything crazy. I actually remember it being like nice and peaceful and smooth.
Yep. It's I mean, very few cars on the road.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a pleasure. That alone makes it worth the trip.
Yeah. Yep.
No doubt.
Hey, Pete.
Awesome. Well, listen, one thing that I do want to stress to you is that if you ever have any kind of announcements or any plans with the series or anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out to Chris or I, because we'd love to let you use the platform to promote whatever you have going on.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and Chris has quite a few Canadian friends that follow the show.
Okay, good. Good.
Chris, I see you're laughing. What do you have to say?
Lord Butler.
Yep.
Lord.
4 words. 3 of them are blah, 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 Pete.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying, Lori. I'm trying. What can I tell you? She's not nice. She hangs around my wife too much. She's not nice.
Your wife's nice. I just can't take her picture or she'll kill me.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So Glenn, this is from Chris Chapman. He said, "Thank you, Glenn Grow, and all your crew for giving us a great series to race in." Sean Paul Tebow says the same thing. And Michael Kilroy said, "I should call Charlie and Eddie. He'll line me up with comp." No.
Charlie.
No. And Jeff Kempton said the same thing. "Thanks, Glenn, for all your hard work creating the Canadian National Open Series. And all the Canadian racers are really appreciate it."
Well, that's my East Coast guys that saved my bacon a couple of times this year. They showed up and in Toronto, man. It was crazy. Some of these guys had driven 20 hours to come and chase points in Toronto. It was amazing.
Oh. Yeah, because there's no direct route to a lot of places up there.
That's it. I mean, especially heading out to the east, it's a very long drive. I mean, actually, it's shorter for you in New Hampshire just to shoot right up. I mean, Miramichi is something that the New Hampshire guys should really keep on their radar. Mark Lebrecq and Dave Casey came up last year and just had a blast. And it really wasn't that bad of a ride. I mean, I believe it's like 8 hours from Epping.
So I think to go to Miramichi, it's easier to go up 95, if I remember right.
Yeah, you go straight up through Maine. Yep.
Get on 95 and set the cruise control and hit it at the border.
I mean, that's a nice race too.
Yep.
Wayne Del Monte just says, "A."
My boy Wayne.
Yeah. Good stuff.
And Lori Butler said, especially Glenn's daughter, they want you to clone her.
Yeah, she came and helped out at Lebanon Valley this year. She did a good job.
Good stuff. So do you reminisce walking around the valley? Because you spent some time there.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of fun. I mean, seeing all the old faces and I mean, some young faces. You know,
it's crazy. Like perfect example would be like the Nichols family, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you were around when they were all being born.
Babies, yeah.
and now you can watch all the old people like us shaking our boots as they line up against us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, it was old home week there when this past race.
Right. Is that the first time you've been back in a long time?
No, I've been the past 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay.
I've been there. Yeah.
I remember seeing you with Fink, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we raced there. I was there a couple of times after I had left, probably 3 or 4 times, and then back now with the NHRA. Past 3 years, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, I'm glad we got a chance to catch up.
Well, it's been fun.
It's been a long time.
It has.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And you're definitely aging a lot more gracefully than I am, I have to
Oh,
tell
come
you.
on. You look great. You're just taller than your hair, man.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know. I might have not had hair the last time you saw me anyway, so I can't remember the last time I had that. And as you can see, I didn't get any taller either. So,
Well, that's it, eh?
that's it. What else you got for him, Chris? Anything good?
No, I think we're good, man. We covered everything and then some. So, I'm glad you're able to take some time and come on and
Well,
let
thanks.
everybody know what's going on up north.
Well, once we
Yeah.
figure out what we're doing with our series for next year, I'll come back maybe and let everybody know.
Absolutely.
how that's
That'd
gonna
be
work.
awesome when you have a schedule nailed down, or
Yep.
any new sponsors that you want to shout out, any of that good stuff.
Absolutely.
One more thing. What how about you got a award ceremony lined up for your series?
Oh man, do we? We hold our awards ceremonies in conjunction with the Canadian Drag Racing Hall of Fame.
Oh,
And
wow.
Cool.
That's put on at John Scotti's Lamborghini dealership. It's the biggest Lamborghini dealership in the world.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. It's quite the show. We're gonna have that November the 9th.
That's not too far away. That'll be
No.
here before you know it.
Yeah, that's coming real quick. And that's in Montreal, November 9th. Anybody that wants to come, you gotta get in touch with us and we'll get you some tickets and
Awesome.
set up. If you look up the Canadian Drag Racing Hall of Fame, check out their website. There's actually a pretty good video from last year's gala, and it's something else.
Now, do members get inducted at the same time?
Yes. Yep.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like as I get older, I like the historical side of drag racing.
Yeah.
So to be able to combine a banquet with something like that, that's very cool.
Well, that's our this year. We're really excited that we're going to have, from 80-year-old inductees to junior dragsters.
Yeah.
In room.
Oh, awesome.
And just having a great big celebration of drag racing.
Yeah, that's wild. That's good stuff.
That is cool.
Good stuff.
Before we cut you loose, how about the sponsors for the series? I know you kind of touched on it already, but who you have that help make the series successful?
Well, John Scotti, of course, is paramount in all this. He gives us a truck and trailer to run around with, and sponsors the entire series. To say we couldn't do it without him would be an understatement. We've got Epic Racewear, who has signed on. They do tents and crew uniforms. They actually signed a deal with the U.S. with NHRA US, so you'll see them at the divisions. They're supplying tents and crew shirts. Who else we got here? We've got Fast Eddie Racewear, of course. They do our T-shirts. That's the Paytons. They have a top fuel team, and they do a good job for us. I've got Freedom Docks. They're out of New Brunswick. They take care of our junior dragster series, which is kind of fun. Select printing and signs, stock, super stock. And we also have engineered racing services and performance seller. It's a couple of racers that are supporting the stock, super stock series and juniors as well. I mean, almost every one of our sponsors gives something to the juniors. And it's kind of cool to see that, even if it's something small,
Yeah.
it's a contribution,
Right.
It's great. We've got Stanmore Carts has given us a couple of golf carts and a fire truck. We have a little side by side that is we've kitted out with 30 gallons of foam, a Hearst tool. Actually, I gotta thank Wayne Del Monte too. He had an excess of Hearst tools and helped us out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Wayne's
cool.
a good guy sometimes.
Sometimes. Only when he wants to be.
No, we're I'm forget. I don't have a list in front of me. I should have had it, or I should have it memorized like John Force does. But anyway, we have some great sponsors that are taking care of us. It's amazing, and just how they almost instantly all came to the table and said, "Yep, we're ready to help." I mean, I had
awesome.
last year I had a drivers meeting, a stock super stock drivers meeting, and announced that we're having a little point series. And before I left the meeting, I had 4 guys offering up sponsorship.
Really?
It's crazy. I mean, it's racers helping racers, but
Yep.
the support is incredible. It's just it makes it a lot of fun.
Good.
And that's key to what we're doing up here. We're trying to make it friendly and fun.
Yep.
A lot of times races can be a little impersonal.
Right.
And we're trying to fix that up here, and I hope it's working.
Well, it sounds just from how you've described it, in the way you run the show and stuff, that it sounds like it's more of a grassroots type event.
Yep.
It actually reminds me a lot of the difference between running a divisional or like going to Lebanon Valley for a weekly bracket race or a super street race.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I'm not saying one is bigger than another or one is better than another. They just have a different feel.
Yep.
It's I love NHRA racing and all the people I've met, but when you go to Lebanon Valley for their weekly gig, it's like the friends. Yeah, exactly. It's more grassroots. It's more friendly. Like, I could go to a divisional at any track and not know who the manager is, not know the track personnel or whatever. And it's nothing against them. You just, when you go home, I know I can rock right up to Wayne. And granted, when he sees me coming, he'll roll his eyes, but whatever. At least I can walk up to him,
Yeah.
It's just, you hit the nail on the head. It's home.
Yep. That's what we're trying to get, is the come home feeling.
Right. Very cool. Well, hopefully I'll be able to take a ride up there and get the feeling next year.
Well, we hope to see you there.
Awesome.
And bring
Awesome.
Chris with you.
All right, listen, I got plenty of room in one of the compartments under the motorhome. He can fit
There
right
you
in.
I wouldn't fit in there, and you know it.
Yeah.
I'll drive. I can fold you up and put you in there.
We'll tip you and the scooter on its side, slide you right out. And then when we get there, just stand you right back up. You'd be perfect.
See this look? Huh, buddy? Huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, Glenn, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for updating us, and please keep our offer in mind, whatever you need.
Absolutely.
Don't hesitate to come on board.
Very good.
All right, Glenn,
Thanks,
thank
buddy.
you very much. I appreciate it.
Bye, folks.
All right, have a great night.
You too.
All right, our guest tonight, Glenn Grove from the Canadian National Open Series, the John Scotti Canadian National Open Series. Awesome. learned a lot about what's really going on up there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got to tell you. And again, I'm sure if I did any kind of research, we could have figured out everything that he told us. But it's cool to have him come on, and I had no idea that it was that big of a series, or the car count that they get, the sponsors that they get. That's a pretty cool gig.
Yeah, I mean, it's you definitely over the last couple of years have heard a whole lot more about what's going on up there than you have, in the past.
Yeah,
It's grown
yeah,
by leaps and bounds, no doubt about it.
yeah. Good, and it's good to know that NHRA has such a big presence up there, and that the open system is still alive and well. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. And to actually hear from somebody that has to deal with the border on a regular basis and give
Right?
you the actual advice of
Yeah,
what you need to have with you, what you need to do, zip
yeah,
it
right. Yeah, right.
and get yourself across the border with little to no hassle.
And don't bring guns or drugs, and you should be in good
Yeah.
shape.
Leave your machine guns at home,
Yeah,
your
exactly.
rocket launchers and stuff. Don't bring those
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. No fireworks, no bombs, none of that stuff. Right?
Yeah, no drugs. Leave your drugs at home.
Unbelievable.
Ah,
So cool. So I know yesterday they were talking about weather in Virginia. They
the
said they were going to make an announcement today. What was the announcement? Did you hear anything?
as of this moment in time, this was about 1 o'clock or so this afternoon.
Yep.
The event is still on. Obviously, a whole lot of stuff can change over the next couple of days. I don't know if it's actual, rain or if it's part of this tropical depression slash hurricane that's
Right.
formed and is working its way north in the Gulf. But yeah, it's as of about 1 o'clock or so this afternoon, it's on again. Tomorrow could be a whole different day. Could
Sure.
say, because I know they're having a test and tune on Wednesday,
That's tomorrow.
I think, or right, yeah. So it's still, I mean, things can change, but I'm pretty sure they're having a test and tune tomorrow. Hey, Louis, Gill, how are you, buddy? Um, so that's what I was told and what
Yep.
was posted on the division um Facebook page. So my best advice is to monitor the division Facebook page because they are
Right.
doing good with keeping up, with updates. Obviously, the weather could suck, the weather could be great.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you gotta take your hat off to them that they're already talking about it on Tuesday, and trying to keep people informed and making decisions, and they're doing everything that they can, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they started talking about it yesterday,
Right.
really saying they'll have the announcement today. I mean, I know there's a couple of guys from Dover, New Hampshire, which is 45 minutes west of me,
Yep.
or east of me, excuse me, over towards the ocean, um, who are going back and forth about it, 14-hour drive. Should I, shouldn't I? I don't want to sit in the rain all weekend. You know, I mean, I don't know if people are smarter than me and know a way around DC, but that drive must kind of suck.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, how do you? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I drive through it a couple times a year, and it's. I mean, you definitely don't want to go during rush hour, but
Yeah, yeah, you got to play the
whatever.
clock on that one.
It's just what, when you Echo and English Town were two of my favorite tracks, and when you're going there, you just know that the ride's going to suck. I mean, it's part of the gig. If you are leaving and you say, I got to get there in 2.5 or 3 hours, or I'm going to be late, you're going to be miserable. If you go the day before and you say, 125-mile trip is going to take me 4 hours, and it is what it is, then you go and
Two
you
and a half
do it.
hours later, you roll in. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, just you leave yourself enough time so you're not all stressed out, and you do what you got to do.
well, like Don Eckel just said, the DC
Yeah,
drive is all about timing.
Timing and luck. Yeah, yeah, and he's absolutely right.
So, and who knows? I might be living just south of there this time next year. So
Oh, there you
we'll
go.
see.
So
Yeah.
if you're south of it, then you don't have to worry about it when you go to Virginia.
Yeah, where we're looking is an hour and a half from VMP. I've already looked.
Coming to Lebanon Valley is going to suck for you, though.
Oh, I'd still make the drive. That's
There you go.
that's a definite. I would make that drive.
That's all good.
Yeah, then I have to stay on the couch in the RV though.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it is what it is. One of the things I did want to mention is that obviously this is the last guessing game, the car count entry game for 2024, presented by Mass Traction and Brandon Mass and his lovely wife.
Yeah, and I put my guess in when I didn't know about the weather, so I'm a little upset about that.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be funny if you were at least
It would be nice if I won
you-
something.
you-
I sponsored the #1 qualifier for Super Street at Lebanon Valley, and
And you
I've
never
never
win.
even come close to getting that. And now we do this thing with the guessing game, and I'm a co-host of the show, and I think I got
You were close. You were within like 8, I think it was.
8 or
time.
10. I think I got close once, but
Yeah.
whatever. Always the bridesmaid.
Hold on. I'm sorry. What was that? All right. So the boss said, in honor of you being you,
Yeah.
she'll make you something no matter what. You just got to tell her what you want.
Tell her I need a shirt that says "Always the bridesmaid."
Never the bride on the back.
Close but no cigar. Tell her I want an excuse shirt of why I never win. Any excuse that she can think of.
Yeah, he'll send you a list of excuses.
Yep.
And you got to put it on the shirt.
That's right.
All right. So, on that note, obviously Brandon Mass and Mass Traction is our partner for this crazy little game, and they're absolutely loving it. And they've already told me they're going to come back next year.
Awesome.
They've also added a sweatshirt to the prize pack. RFC is going to donating some stuff to.
Oh, very cool.
Mid-Atlantic.90 is going to donate some stuff to the winner. And I just found out today from Steve Rhodes that NHRA Division 1 is going to also add some goodies to the gift bag for the winner.
Man, whoever hits this one's going to be like the Strut Gold, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think there's going to be some signs involved, and I don't know. I'm out of the loop on what the division. All he said is, "I'll take care of it."
I got it. You got to give me some intel on what the number is close to being. So if I'm a couple short, I'll just buy a couple of tuck cards. Put it over the top.
That's right. That's right. Because you can't edit your post. So.
No, I can't. No, I'm the idiot that'll spend $5,000 to wear $20 worth of sweatshirts
with the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, how much money do you need your PayPal?
Yeah. And we got some hats from FVP and Napa, right?
Hats from FVP from Napa. I dug through that bag. There's all kinds of beanie in there.
Yep.
So I'm gonna put all kinds of stuff together. There's some stickers from Brandon Mass and Mass Traction. Like I said, the hat, stickers, the sweatshirt from them. And Pete doesn't want to be the bridesmaid anymore, Aaron said.
Well, it's no one's fault but Pete's.
Yeah.
If I actually got my shit together and worked hard at my stuff and raced more, I'd be a lot better off. But we're gaining.
Well, it's not like you're on busy.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I
got to stop doing 20 things and just pick one thing and try and get better at it. But
it's too easy. That's too easy. Gotta make it hard. But you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna go to the Dover race this weekend. So that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Dover race, and then we got Scotti and Ralphie's race the week after. I'll be running the chip draw for that, and I hate doing this because I don't know the format, but I feel like Saturday is like time trials and qualifying, and
Are we talking
Sunday is
about
the
Dover?
race.
Are we
No,
talking
for
Dover?
Scotty's race.
Oh, for Scotty.
Um, so if that's the case, then I might run my car on Saturday. If I still want to learn what I don't know. But I feel like Sunday is the race for Scotty's race. I
Hold
mean, the
that
whole
thought for
weekend
just a
is their
sec.
production, but I think they're
Hold
going to
that.
do like qualifying or time trials on Saturday and then race on Sunday.
Give me just a minute. I know I have it here somewhere. Let's get to
Actually,
find it.
ironically, I think they're live right now too, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. Saturday. Saturday, October 5th, prep test day, $150 pre-entry, 175 day of. 2-day tech card is available. Grudge and shootouts. Gates open at 8 a.m. Testing from 10 to 5. Evening qualifier for rental attendees at 6 p.m. Crew and spectators, adults $20, kids 10 and under 5 per day. Sunday, no time, no rules event. Gates open at 8 a.m. Drivers meeting at 10. 1 to 2 qualifiers. Class racing begins. No time, no rules crowns for first. Crew and spectators, adult 20, kids 5 and under are $5 again. So,
Yep. So it's like they're going to be a Friday test session and then a qualifier at 6. Then they're going to do 2 more qualifiers on Sunday. I'm kind of surprised at that. And then the race. So, yeah. So if I'm still having some issues with my car, or I want to play with it some more, I'll probably do that on Saturday. And then I'll be running the chip draw because there's absolutely no class for my car to fit in that race, unfortunately. So I'll be working the chip draw and having a good time. I actually enjoy doing that. It's a lot of fun.
cool. Now, we have to admit, or I have to admit anyways, that we're just coming off the double 15s at Lebanon Valley.
Yep.
I said to Vince and I said to Gary, um, from an outsider's perspective, this year seemed to run
Very smooth.
glass smooth. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, granted, last year was the first time I've gone to a race like that, but it just seemed like this year, like everything was ironed out and stuff was on point.
I think the only complaint from the year before, which is something they had no control over, was the weather.
Yeah.
You know, they collected for the high rollers, and then Gary walked around and personally handed everyone their money back because weather came in and they couldn't control it. And I don't know that the procedure was any smoother. I just think the elements were a lot smoother. Um, it's a great race, and I will tell you that my personal experience this year was a complete friggin' train wreck. Had absolutely nothing to do with the race or how it was promoted. Just my program and my car was a freaking disaster. And as bad as it was for me, it's still one of my favorite races of the year, and I had an awesome time. For my car running as bad as it did, I had as good a time as I could possibly have. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
I
just a
enjoyed
great show.
Saturday. I did.
Yeah,
I enjoyed myself Saturday. That was a lot of fun. Um, how about the Nichols family again, man?
they're
Even though
just you can't. Usually, when people are as good as they are, you tend to start to dislike them, and it is physically impossible to dislike anyone in that family. As much as you want to beat them or be like them or win like them, uh, you can't possibly be angry at them. I mean, they are a class act family.
no doubt. Now, the next thing is, if you haven't read the plans for what they're thinking about doing for next year, I highly recommend you go on the Dues and Facebook page and take a peek at what Gary put up and cast your vote. And it seems like if they go with the votes, that one particular thing is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's if they manage to get funding for that kind of money, the amount of people that's going to draw, I will go on record, and I know the past couple of years, I don't have the exact car count, but I believe it was around 180-ish for entries
For this
both
year,
this past year, and I believe he said it was pretty similar the year before.
it was just over 200 last year.
Oh,
I
was
think.
it? Okay. So
I believe so.
I will go on record. My opinion is that if they could get a race with that kind of money, I'm going to guess, weather permitting, not sitting on top of any other big events or whatever, I'm going to say the car count's going to double.
Yep.
I'll say they're going to have between 350 and 400 cars if they could get up that kind of money.
Oh, Christie's watching.
Oh, goody. Hey, we have to congratulate Christy on winning a national event. Good job, my man.
Also, yep. Um, Tim Barrett won his first national event at Charlotte in Stock Eliminator too.
Very
Him
cool.
and Linda Barrett. So congratulations to them.
So I got a little Chris D story for you, and it's gonna show you how much things have progressed over the years. I believe it was Chris's first national event win at Englishtown. And I remember sitting in front of the computer because there was no live feed back then or live stream or whatever. And I think I was just on like drag race results or something and constantly refresh until I saw that he won and absolutely flipped out. Because at the time I actually kind of liked him. So yeah, and I remember being so happy for him. And
is Chris Depascale the Nickelback of drag racing? It's the guy that you love to hate.
Now, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is your third national event win. I don't know if I'm right or wrong with that. I know he won in his father-in-law's Nova in Arizona, maybe. And I know he won, like I said, Englishtown and Super Comp, and he just won Maple Grove Super Comp. I don't know if there's another one worked in there somewhere. I'm sure he'll comment. Third win, 5 finals.
Win of 5 finals. Yep. Awesome. Congratulations, Chris.
All this Chris D info, I'm almost like a groupie, aren't I?
Stalker.
Yeah, pretty much. But seriously, great job. Did you see his reaction times the last 3 or 4 rounds?
Yeah, what's he like? 000, 001, 003, something.
Yeah,
right,
I want to see
the
last 3 or 4 rounds. He was between 1 and zip. That's something dreams are made of right there.
Wait to see. You know he'll post it.
We're all sitting there looking at our phones. Come on, Chris. We hate dead air.
We're waiting for you, Chris.
Oh God. Well, I can tell you,
he's
not 001 on this response. I'll tell you that. Yeah,
001 and 2 trip zips.
Yeah, 001 trip zip. That's pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Pretty nuts. So,
another thing I wanted to read.
He said he could call in. We don't want you. Chris,
Pete's got to go to bed in like 20
oh,
minutes.
he's calling in now. Could I accept this, and will he be on? No, he's calling my personal phone, isn't he?
Oh, just put it on speaker. Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
yeah.
You
Just let
there?
him know he's on speaker. Well, I mean, we don't care. So
Okay, hold on. I got to figure out how
Okay.
to get you on
for
speaker. So
anybody
deal
that's
with me here.
listening, this is going to probably be not safe for work.
Why can't I put him on speaker? I can put him on FaceTime. Hold on, we're getting there.
Working on it.
Hold
Oh.
steady.
Okay, we got audio. Could you hear us?
Yeah.
There we go. Turn your phone up a little bit,
Turn my
If you
phone
can.
up a little bit. Hold on. There we go.
or put it closer to your computer.
I don't know where my speaker is on this thing. I'm gonna say it's
Uh-oh.
over here.
Can you hear me, Chris?
There we go. That's better. What's up, Christy?
How you doing?
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Honestly, I never do good at that race ever. I've never been in a Sunday show there. I've always seemed to screw it up at the Nationals. I never have done good. And this year, the only thing I could say is Lenny was on my side and he was riding with me the whole friggin' time, because everything that I did, if I did one thing, the other guy did something a little bit worse. Like, I can't make some of the stuff up, but what I said in my interview, on third round, I had Mike Robolito, good racer. We've always run real good rounds. And I said, if I'm going to lose a round, probably going to be to someone like Mike. So I go up for the run. I do the burnout, and I'm nervous. It's the only night run we've ever had the whole weekend. Everything's been during the day. And I was nervous about it. I do a burnout. I look up, and a butterfly flies over, lands on the track right in front of me, and then flies away. And I just got really calm, and I said, all right, Lenny's looking over me. He's got me. So I just kind of calmed down, and I just said, I'm just going to run the run. So I'm going down the track. I'm watching him, and I said, he's going to get me. I just got to find a good spot to stop and kill what I got to kill and make sure he don't catch it. And all of a sudden, I watch him disappear. And I'm like, what's going on? I look back. He's car lengths behind me. He dropped me at 1,000 foot, thought it was the finish line.
And I got to tell you, I love hearing stories like this, because I'll go racing, my typical 2 or 3 times a year, and I'll make a stupid mistake, and I'll be so mad at myself and so hard on myself. And when I hear stories like that, it's kind of refreshing that here I am only doing it a couple of times a year, and I'm expecting myself to be a lot better than I am. And you hear about someone with that kind of experience doing stuff like that. And it's kind of all right, well, who the hell do you think you are?
If you want to laugh about it even more, Mike Robolito did it third round to me. Jeff Kondratic did it to me fourth round.
Same thing at 1,000 feet?
Same fucking thing, except for Jeff Kondratic got back in the throttle.
Really?
Mike went like 130. He dropped and committed to it.
That's incredible.
And then Kevin Scholl run, I ran Kevin at so I was trip zip no, so I was one against Kondratic when he dropped me, and he got back in. And I took a bit of stripe, but I knew I was over my dial by at least. I had enough to kill what I thought I was killing and get there.
Yep.
So I did screw up the finish line a bit on him. I probably should have slowed it down a little more, but I didn't. And then going against Kevin Scholl, I had run him at New Media earlier this year. I'm 2 red to his 50. And I go 88 with a 0 to his 91 flat out.
Yep.
So I'm like, I would have beat him had I been green, no problem. And I come up in the semis there, and me and Kevin talked a round or 2 prior about how he's doing good in the world, and he's going to start chasing. He's going here, he's going there, and now I got to run him, and I'm like, he's going to be out for blood.
Right.
He's going to be. So after Jeff's run, my wife said to me, "Are you putting delay in?" Which was 1. And I said, I'm telling you right now, that was a night run. I crushed it.
Yeah.
And when I let go, I kind of winced. I was like, oh, it's going to go red. It's going to go red. And it didn't go red.
That's when you look at the tree as you're driving by, right?
Yeah. So I was like, I can't hit it any harder. I'm telling you, there's no way I can hit it any harder. And she goes, all right, we'll do it. You're doing good. You do what you do.
Yep.
And I left it alone from my trip zip, and I come up one. I come up left from my one. I come up trip zip.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh shit. So now that's a semi. I'm trip zip against him.
Yep.
I look over. I got room. I back into him. I take 1,000 stripe.
Oh my God.
So I'm trip zip take one.
Yep.
In the semifinals of a national event. Damn near screwed it up both sides.
Now, again, refreshing. It's nice to hear you say that.
Yeah, I mean, I did everything I could to screw it up, and I didn't. So again, all I can say is, Lenny helped me out on that. If I went to screw it up, I didn't. You know. And then I go up in the final, and I be talking to Sean all day. And Sean was a little lost. I know he was like 20 in a semifinal run against Cowie.
Yep.
So I'm sure he's going to be pushing it because he knows I've been good. And I actually said to myself in the lanes, if he turns it red, I'm lifting and laying on the air horns all the way down the racetrack. And I'm going down the thing, and Karen told me, put in 8,000 from my last trip zip.
Yep.
And I was like, I want to put in 3 to 5. That's where I want to be.
Right.
And she said 8. I said 5. I said, I'm not going more than 5.
Yep.
So I put in 5 at the trailer. I roll up into the lanes. We're going down. James looks at me and goes, what'd you put in for delay? And I said, 5,000. He goes, 7. I'm like, God damn it. So my wife says 8. He says 7. If I go red in the final of the national, I'm going to be really pissed off.
Yep.
So I put in 7 to be trip zip in the final.
Wow. I would have went with what the wife said, just so you know.
Yeah, I've been practicing a lot.
Yep.
I bought a full-size tree this past winter.
Oh, nice.
It's in my living room. I sit on the couch, I watch TV, and I have the button sitting on the couch, and I'll just hit like 1 or 2 hits. And what I've been doing, which helped me a lot, is I hit the top, and it's set on full tree.
Yep.
I hit the top, and then I just hit the bottom the same way I hit the top, but I just take the second off.
Right.
Right, because the difference between the top and the bottom is only a second.
Right.
So I just take the second off. So I try to match my top bulb reaction with my bottom bulb reaction to make sure I'm seeing both bulbs the same way.
Sure.
So that's helped me tremendously this year. My trees have been ridiculously consistent. Like when I won the Maple Grove .90, my worst tree in that entire race was like 11.
Wow.
I've been killing the tree. So I've been riding on the fact that if I feel like I let go correctly and the ticket shows what I feel like I let go at,
yep.
I need to trust myself more than moving the box everywhere.
Right.
So like if you could be 8 and you want to be 8, but you're going to add delay, you're going to leave it alone.
Yeah,
like
right.
That's kind of the way I've been trying to do it, and it's been working.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing is, like you said, repetition. And if you're confident that you're not going to grab at something that's not there,
right?
You trust you seeing it and letting it go, then yeah, you could play it that close because you trust yourself.
Well, I asked Danny Northrup, which I always looked up to Danny. Danny's an unbelievable racer. He's been there, done that, and everything. And I asked Danny when he was in Vegas running the million.
Yep.
What does he set up? Like, because that's what we were like, how do you compete with that stuff?
Right.
And he told me he sets up 5.
Wow.
So I said, if you're 7 or 8, you're taking out delay. And he said, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's to me, I'm not there, but to get there is like, holy crap. Like that's a lot of conditioning.
Yeah. You're not kidding. 95% of the people out there would let go 8 and probably roll a couple in.
My father absolutely would.
Yeah, I know I would. Oh, I always set up for 11.
Right. And I'm always trying to, if I feel like I'm faster than 5, I need to think about adding delay.
Right.
And if I'm anywhere faster than anywhere from 15 to 5, I probably will leave it alone.
Right. Yeah, I'll leave a teen alone. Anything under a teen, I'll crank a couple in just to come up 30 the next round.
And years ago, Steve Cohen gave me a piece of advice that I've always listened to. If you're going to add any delay, add 5. He said, because if you're thinking about adding 2, 3, 4, he said, just add 5. Like, don't screw around with the little numbers. Put it in and be confident that you're going to you'll be okay. If you can't put in 5, you shouldn't be adding delay.
Right. Chris Barnes has something. What do you got, Chris?
No, I just wanted to tell you, Chris, that your dad's watching.
Oh, cool.
Oh, hi, Dad.
That's awesome.
One thing with my father, I felt bad. He's superstitious. I'm not. So going into this race in general, he always said to me, if you make it into Sunday, I'll show up.
Right.
And everybody asked me all weekend, where's your dad? Where's your dad? Where's your dad? I was like, oh, if I make it to Sunday, I'll show up. So I make it to Sunday at like 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night on Saturday. And he says, oh, I'm gonna head over in the morning. And I hear the announcement. We got semifinals at 8:45 a.m.
Wow. All righty.
So I'm like, you're gonna get here but for 8:45, I got to be in the lanes, and then if I lose, it's a wasted trip.
Yeah,
I said, why don't we just see if I get to the final? So he skipped the Sunday show up, and then after I won that round, he hemmed and hawed for a little bit and said, well, I'm going to get in the car. And he started driving, and he got hammered in traffic, and he was like, I'm never going to get there.
Yeah.
So he turned around and came back, and he told me if he did get there, he wasn't coming in the track until I won because he said it would be bad luck. So he was going to sit outside and watch from the friggin' road.
Sit outside and watch it on his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, we do stupid things to ourselves with superstition. And it's like, all right, I'm going to put my pants on, then I'm going to go get in the car and lucky underwear and lucky socks. And we're so stupid.
Eddie Alessi Sr. 100% swears that Eddie Jr. lost the division one year because when he was on his way to his staging lanes, every time he went to the lanes, he would drive by on the scooter and slam his water bottle into a garbage can. Well, in the one round, he missed the can. He had to go back, pick it up, and do it again. And he feels like that's the reason why his son lost that round.
God damn it. I can't believe he cost his son the whole division like that.
We do stupid shit.
Yeah, we do. Just showing up at the racetrack is stupid, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we're competing against everybody else who wants to beat us, and we're putting all our good money into it.
Yep.
You're literally going there to attempt to not get beat up.
Yeah. But like the post that Jason made today, right? We're making memories and friends and all that good stuff too.
I tell you what, if it was not for the people, 100% I would not be doing this.
Without a doubt. Oh, yeah.
It's 100% about. I mean, there's nothing that makes me happier as I get to the racetrack and see my kids jumping on dirt bikes and quads and riding off with their friends and racing RC car. I mean, we were at the Nationals and Tyler, JJ Schomburger, and Charlie Blittersdorf all were drag racing Traxxas cars down the return road. You know what I mean? Like, where do you get things like this?
Right.
Anywhere else in life?
Yep.
That all these kids are it's just so awesome.
Just a bunch of trailer park people hanging out with their trailer park friends, right?
Yeah, and I had a couple friends of mine that around the area that go to car shows and stuff, and they have come to the racetrack, and they're like, this is like adrenaline car shows.
Right.
Like we show our cars. Our cars are all gorgeous and everything's. We spend a lot of time making them pretty, and then we go out and we compete against each other. So it's like a car show with an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah.
It's absolutely one of the best things I've ever experienced, and honestly, as long as I continue to afford it, I probably will never stop drag racing.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. So how do you like that? We started out with Glen Grove, and then we wound up with the Maple Grove Super Comp winner. And we also got tips on how to hit the trick.
And I'm surprised Jerron didn't get up here and start harassing me yet.
What you should be more surprised about is that I'm still awake because it's definitely past my bedtime.
Yeah, he's
It's
got
quarter
like
after
37 seconds. Chris, he's got like 37 seconds. He's gonna pass out.
That's right. I'm going to turn into a pumpkin any minute now. I can feel it.
I did see Pete out one time at 11 o'clock.
He did.
Just saying.
He did.
I did see it once.
I will say it.
But you did. But wait a minute.
Well,
You
go ahead.
were at my bachelor party.
I was.
That
was a long
eventful.
night.
Pete's very first trip to the
I am
racetrack.
still tired from that night. That's the problem.
And you're still trying to get
So
sleep.
he goes to bed at 8 o'clock.
How long have you and your wife been married?
Tyler's 17, so 18 years.
I am nursing an 18-year hangover.
Oh, it was definitely one of those nights.
Yeah, it was a good night.
Oh God.
All right.
You
Well,
guys
Chris,
keep
thanks
doing
for
what you're
calling in,
doing.
buddy. Great
You
job.
guys
We're
keep
proud
doing
of
what
you.
you're doing. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll talk again at some point.
Yes, we will.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
brother. Take care.
All right, Chris. Have a good night. Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
Oh, we look. Oh, there you
Oh,
are.
that was a nice little surprise.
Hey. And you were scared because I asked you 2 weeks ago. Like, should we have him on? You're like,
No, God, no. I love Chris. The only thing I love more than Chris is I love hating him.
I should get a Nickelback. Have Tanya make a Nickelback sticker and we put it on his, hide it on his car somewhere.
He's a good. If it wasn't, I have to say, if it wasn't for his wife and kids, I would probably never talk to him. But I love them to death. So, and his mother and father are about the two nicest people ever created. So we love them to death. I don't know how they wound up with Chris, but whatever. It's all good. We're proud of him. He did a hell of a job. But yeah, it's funny reminiscing about the first time I watched him win a national event. I couldn't even watch him.
Yeah.
It was just a refresh screen on the computer and waiting for the results to come on, and I don't even know if, I'm sure we text back then, but even texting wasn't big back then.
Yeah.
Chris, if you're listening, still tell us what year you won the Englishtown national event. I'm going to say C24 says 10. I'm going to say it was 07-ish. That's going to be my guess.
All right. While we're waiting for that, I just wanted to read this real quick. Then we can end it after you get done praising Depascale.
Yeah.
Mid-Atlantic .90 Association released this earlier this evening. For the most part, the 2025 Mid-Atlantic Mid-Atlantic schedule is going to be centered between Cecil County and Mason-Dixon
I got
Dragway.
you.
As most know, we are cutting back to 8 races, and once the NHRA D1, PDRA, and other series announce their schedules, we will figure out the split between the two tracks. We'd love to go back to other tracks, but we have to look at where our base members call home and where they will travel. The majority of our members are in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, and about 15-20% call the other states their home. There are tracks on our radar, but we haven't been able to work with them to gain a date, or their rental is above what they can afford. We should have a schedule announced by mid-December, if not a little bit sooner. So I just wanted to read that real quick.
Pretty cool. Interesting. Did Chris answer?
Not yet.
No. All right. I'll find out. I'm curious now. But yeah, just like how much times have changed for, and we take a lot of it for granted, the instant access and being able to know, right off the bat. And it's crazy how technology changes us.
Yep, absolutely. won Division One Super Comp Championship in 2011 and Super Street in 2012. 07, he said.
What was it?
2007, he won Englishtown.
07?
Yep.
Wow, I was right. Holy shit. Yeah, look at that. He just texted me. 07. Wow, how's
Yep.
that for a guess?
And he won Super Street in Phoenix in 2012.
That I remember. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. So I guess that was a pretty good guess on my part, huh?
Wow.
That's
That thing
I'll
still
get the
works.
guess. I'll get the guess right when it means nothing.
But when you want to win all the cool
Yeah,
stuff, you're going to be like
yeah.
748
If you put a
numbers
hat on
up.
the line, I wouldn't have even been in the ballpark.
I gave you a hat. I gave you a hat back in New England.
There you go. Yeah, God, just think. So 07, so texting wasn't big in 07. Live streaming definitely wasn't big in 07. So yeah, pretty crazy.
Cool.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations there, Chris
Yep.
Depascale, on your
Yep.
national event at Maple Grove for the division for the national event. And again, Tim Barrett won his first this past weekend at ZMAX in stock eliminator.
Very
So,
cool.
Tim and Linda Barrett. So big kudos to them. So they've been chomping at the bit for it, and it finally came. So, and it's nice for Chris to win one more or less right in his backyard.
And dedicated to a good friend of his too. So that's great.
Yep.
Good stuff.
So
All right, Chris. I am you know what I'm gonna do.
6 weeks before Tyler was born, he said.
Yeah. Cool.
Before we bug out of here, I want to thank Glenn Grove for coming on and talking about the National Open Series, the John Scotti National Open Series up in Canada, and learn more about that. We are going to be doing the show on Facebook Live. Going back to that, I wanted to experiment with YouTube, but wasn't as successful as what I hoped it would be. But we'll be back on Facebook Live, and we'll still be loading it onto our YouTube page. And next week, I would like to do 2 in a row if you're able to next week, Pete. We're going to be talking to Gary Simons to get the lowdown on the wrap up for the Duzen double 15s that were held a couple weeks ago at Lebanon Valley.
Yep.
And maybe get a sneak peek at what 2025 may or may not bring.
I like it.
All right. Again,
All
thank
right,
you,
brother.
Glenn Grow. Thank you, Christy Pascal. Pete, have a great night. Talk to you all soon.
Take care, guys.
All right. If you're heading to Virginia, stay safe, drive safely, be good, have fun, and make sure you get those guesses in. Last month of the year. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you all soon.